In this lesson, you can learn how to talk about your family in English. Do you have a big family? What do you like doing when you spend time with your family? Talking about family can be a good way to start a conversation in English. So it's useful if you know what to say and if you have some questions to ask. Let's start with something simple. Part 1. Introducing your family. Okay, so let's start with a simple sentence. There are people in my family. So you can say, there are 5, there are 10, there are 30 people in my family. That's not very hard, but it's not very interesting either. You should say who these people are. There are 10 people in my family. I have 2 sisters, my brother, my uncle and aunt, 2 grandparents, and my parents, of course. There are 4 people in my family. My wife, my 2 sons, and myself. Part 2. Talking about your brothers and sisters. How many brothers and sisters do you have? You could say, I have 2 brothers and 1 sister. I just have 1 sister. I'm an only child. Let's make it more interesting by adding more information. Are your brothers and sisters older or younger? Where are you in the family? I have 2 older brothers and 1 older sister. I'm the youngest in the family. I just have 1 sister who's 5 years older than me. I'm the middle child. My brother is 2 years older and I have a younger sister who's finishing university this year. Part 3. Talking about your immediate and your extended family. In English, we sometimes draw a line between your immediate family, that means you, your husband or wife, your children, parents, and brothers and sisters. Then you have your extended family. That means aunts, uncles, cousins, nephews, nieces, grandparents, grandchildren, and so on. Now, you can give more details about the people in your family like this. My immediate family is quite small because I'm an only child. My mum is one of 5 children, so I have a lot of cousins who are kind of like my brothers and sisters. There are 6 people in my immediate family. My parents, my brother and his wife, my sister and me. I have a lot of other relatives, but they live in Canada, so we don't see them often. Part 4. Talking about your children. Do you have children? Let's see what you can say. I have 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy. We have a newborn son. We have 1 daughter and my wife's expecting our 2nd child. As always, you should add details to make your answers longer and more interesting. I have 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy. Our eldest daughter has just started secondary school and the 2 younger ones are still in primary school. We have a newborn son. He's just 3 weeks old now, so we're still getting used to things. We have 1 daughter and my wife's expecting our 2nd child. We don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but we'll find out in 3 months. Part 5. Talking about your relationship with your family. Finally, let's add some information about how often you see your family and what you like to do together. For example, I'm very close to my family. We have lunch together every weekend. I see my older brother once a week. We play tennis or basketball together. I try to spend as much time as possible with my kids. What now? Well, you should know the answer. Add more details. Let's look. I'm very close to my family. We have lunch together every weekend at my grandmother's house. She always cooks something delicious. I see my older brother once a week. We play tennis or basketball together. I don't see my other brother so often because he lives overseas, although we talk on Skype every so often. I try to spend as much time as possible with my kids. We play cards, we watch films, or we go to the park if the weather's nice. Okay, part 6, making a longer answer. Now, you should be able to make a longer answer talking about your family. You should be able to talk about your relatives, your brothers and sisters, your children, if you have any, and your relationship with your family. Let's look at a sample answer. There are 5 people in my immediate family, although my extended family is quite large. I have 2 sisters, both younger, so I'm the oldest child. I don't have kids yet, but I'd like to have a big family one day. I see my parents and my sisters quite often because we all live near each other, although I don't see my other relatives that much. Okay, could you make an answer like this? Let's look at one more sample answer first. I come from a big family. I'm the 5th child and I have 3 brothers and 1 sister. They're all close to each other in age, but there's a big gap between them and me. I don't have children, but I have lots of nieces and nephews. I don't see my family often because I live in a different country, but I speak to them regularly, and we all get together once or twice a year, which is always very noisy, but lots of fun. What about you? Try to make a longer answer talking about your family. Use the vocabulary and the ideas from the lesson to help you. Next time you talk about your family in English, hopefully you'll have lots to talk about.